Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of December 15th. So last week we moved through Mars and Mercury in retrograde. We've been moving through this since December 6th, so kind of for the last week and a bit. Mercury on the 15th today is now stationing direct, so we are done with Mercury retrograde. We still have Mars, but I want to just talk about this Mars Mercury being retrograde together and how that might be influencing and impacting us. And Mars is really about our energy and how we're using our energy, and Mercury is really about our thought process. So maybe, like me, you've kind of found yourself putting a lot of things on your to-do plate or rushing around trying to get all these things done or putting this pressure. This is what I found I was doing anyway, putting all this pressure on myself to do things and get things done. And when I really looked at what I was putting pressure on myself to do, like, oh, I'm so busy, I got to get all this stuff done and I got to do this and I got to do that. When I really looked at it, I was like, you know what? Why am I putting so much pressure on myself? It's okay if this doesn't get done. You know what? There's January. January exists, like sometimes I think it's easy to forget that at this time of year. You try to cram everything in by the end of the year. And so I've really been checking myself and trying to make sure that I'm remembering that January exists and it's okay if I don't get everything done by the end of the year and that I'm not putting this pressure on myself. So maybe that's something that may be beneficial and helpful to you, because Mars and Mercury being in retrograde together is really a sign from the universe to slow down. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to strive for perfection. And I think so many of us, especially at this time of year, we feel like we have, our to-do list somehow multiplies. And I would challenge it that a lot of that to-do list is probably not as important as we think it is. I'm sure some of it is, and I know a lot of you are dealing with a lot of pressures at this time of year, but something to check in with yourself about where that pressure is coming from, why you're putting pressure on yourself just because it happens to be the end of the year. I know we have holiday commitments and things at work are wrapping up, but just really kind of paying attention to that and trying to get back to a place of abundance when it comes to time. And, we talk about abundance all the time, like I'm an abundant being, in terms of finances or things coming towards us, but we can also use time. There's an abundance of time to get what I need to get done, right? Time is an interesting thing, Sometimes it feels like it goes fast and other times it feels like it goes slow. But how can you step into a place where you feel an abundance of time to get what you need to get done? And how can you call in that feeling of abundance when it comes to time? Something to think about. As I mentioned, Mercury stations direct on the 15th. So Mercury is sort of our mind, that mental chatter, that mental to-do list. We may find it easier to kind of navigate through that and navigate through our thought patterns and try to find a little bit more peace when it comes to that. But Mars is still in retrograde and will be until February. So we have to live with that. And that really is a power time to recalibrate how we are spending our energy and what motivates us. So stay tuned till next year where we kind of figure that out. We also have this week the Gemini full moon. It peaks on today on the 15th. This is our last full moon of 2024. And it falls in the sign of Gemini. And I did talk a little bit about it last week, but essentially full moons are a time when energy gets pulled out of us. And so as our last full moon of the year, it's a great time to think about what you want to unload, what you want to relieve or release yourself from. And taking time to write it down, maybe burning it. I have a ritual as always, which is perfect, not just for the full moon, but also for pretty much the whole end of the year. You can do it. just kind of offloading, unburdening ourselves, thinking about what we want to release. And the ritual can help with that. But if you don't have time or you don't want to get stuck into a whole ritual, just writing it down or even just thinking it out loud to yourself or saying it to yourself, and then imagining the things releasing through your breath. Just taking a couple of mindful breaths to let it go, to let 2024 and everything that it's brought your way, to just honor it and then release it, give it up, let it go. This full moon, as our last full moon of the year, is a great reminder of that we don't have to carry everything that we have moved through this year into the next year. We can let it go. We're given universal permission to let it go. So set those intentions this week. Even though the full moon, you might be watching this and the full moon's already passed, that's okay. You can still work with this energy. You can still work with that releasing energy. As we get to the end of the week on the 21st, we have the solstice and the sun moves into Capricorn season. So the solstice, of course, is where we celebrate either the longest or shortest day of the year. That depends on where in the world you live. And we have the start of Capricorn season, which is represented by the mythical sea goat. And I tell this story every time, but I'm a Capricorn and I do love the mythology or the symbolism behind this mythical sea goat. So the sea goat is half goat, half fish. It has a tail and then the head or the front body of a goat. And you could say that that's pretty unfortunate, but the sea goat learns how to become a master of these two parts of itself. It learns how to master swimming in the ocean and climbing the tallest mountains. And as it learns this, it gains perspective that no other animal can compete with. It knows what it's like to dive to the bottom of the ocean, and it knows what it's like to transcend the highest peaks in the mountains. And this gives it a wisdom and a knowing that is very deep and very wise, I guess. So we can all take in that sea goat as our spirit guide this week, especially as we move into Capricorn, but really throughout the whole season. How can we take what we have been given, right? Whether it's our body and all its perceived shortcomings, whether it's our situation, how can we take that and just really not become a master of it, but trust and know that we hold the power to obtain the wisdom that needs to be obtained from this situation, that we hold the strength to navigate and figure out whatever has been brought our way. The universe never gives us anything we can't handle, even though it can seem like we are very often stretched to our limits. And that's really something that we are reminded of as we move into Capricorn season. You know, we're all tired, it's been a long year, but we still are given this earthy strength from the Capricorn energy that we can make it through, that we can step into a new year, that we can find that wisdom of everything we've been through and use it to step into our power as who we are, just as the sea goat does. So something to kind of reflect and ponder on as we wrap up these last few weeks of the year and we move into the next year. I'm going to pull a card just to support the energies of this week. I feel that we are still kind of on the back of the full moon. We are still on the back of that Mercury retrograde. We're deep in Mars retrograde, but just having both of those together, and then plus, you know, this solstice time, which is a magical time. The veil is thin. We're moving into this Capricorn season. I just feel like, in a nutshell, the cosmic skies are calling for us to slow down, prioritize ourselves, and just to remember that we have the strength and the wisdom to move through whatever it is that we are going through. Next, I'm going to shuffle the cards now, but next week is my last energy forecast of the year. I'll be taking a break and I'll be back, I think, was it the 13th of January or the 12th of January? It'll be a 2-week break that I'll take, and then I'll be back with your forecast. I think it's in time for the next full moon. So next week will be the last forecast of the year, and then I'll see you all back in the new year. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards, and I'm setting the intention that we're just going to get the card that's going to bring the most clarity and comfort and peace as we move through this week. The deck I am using is my own, the Cosmic Astrology Oracle, which sold out already, but I'll have more next year. All right. Oh, this card wants to come out. Let's use it. Arcturus. Okay. Arcturus is a star, and this card is about protection. All right, let's have a look in the little booklet. You can just sit back, relax, listen to these words, allow them to go where they need to go. Fortune favors the bold feels to be the motto for this high vibrational star. Arcturus is considered a lucky star that carries the energy of fairness, prosperity, and determination. It is a cosmic protector, ensuring that rewards will come when we move in alignment with our values and morals. This kind of taps in a little bit there to that sea goat energy, that when we kind of step into our potential, recognize our strength, work with what we have, we kind of do, we kind of are cosmically protected. We're cosmically guided. Drawing this card is a sign to move with integrity and live a life that is honest to the call of your spirit. This is not always easy to do, especially with the distractions and noise of the outside world. But this card is a sign that when you find the courage to honor your spirit and do what feels right, rewards will follow. As a cosmic protector, this card can also come up when we are being taken advantage of or need to create boundaries or stand firm with our morals. I think the holidays can be a difficult time for a lot of us because of family dynamics, and social pressures, but just knowing and honoring our boundaries and calling in Arcturus energy to protect us can be helpful. Ask Arcturus to protect you with its powerful blue light. Soak in its energy, allowing it to raise your vibration and shield your aura. Arcturus is also believed to be home to an advanced alien race. Drawing this card can indicate a connection to the Arcturians. If you feel called, connect to the Arcturians through your dreams or meditation. So a couple of additional meanings of this card: that your situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Trust the calling of your spirit. Align your life with your values, which is kind of all what a Mars retrograde is about as well. Be honest with yourself and others. Be cautious around people who are dishonest or lack integrity. Sometimes the right decision is the hard decision, but ultimately, in a nutshell, this card is about you being protected. So whatever has been going on for you, whatever will come our way this week, you are protected. You have the beautiful, bright blue light of Arcturus shining down over your auric field, giving you a field of protection. You are protected. Your energy is protected. And with that protection, you'll be able to set those boundaries, honor yourself, acknowledge yourself, and listen to the inner voice that always knows the way. So I hope you enjoyed that card reading. I hope you know that you are protected. I hope you can feel and visualize that blue light I'm sending to you to cover your aura. And I don't even need to send it to you because you can create it for yourself, but it is there. You are protected. And that is your energy forecast for the week ahead. Just a little note. So as I mentioned, next week will be my last video for the year. I'll take a little break. Also, your moon calendars are now also sold out for the year. So thank you so much to everybody who purchased. Your support means a lot. There will be another calendar for next year, 2026. So if you missed out this year, don't worry. You'll have a chance to get one in the new for the following 2026. All right, I hope you found that helpful. I'm Tanaz from foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.